It was just past 8 a.m. when the sun began to shine down on the cracked roads of Silver Grove, a small American town where time moves slower and dreams often waited in line behind reality. In the heart of town sat a dusty garage called Miller's Auto Haven. It wasn't much, just 4 bays, a patched roof, and a tin sign barely clinging to its rusted frame, but inside, magic happened that morning as steam hissed from an old Pontiac on lift number 3, a skinny teenage boy with oil-streaked cheeks and fingers calloused by grit and years of labor stood under the open hood, adjusting a wrench with sharp precision. His name was Eli Dawson. Just 17 years old, Eli had been working at Miller's for the past 4 years, ever since his father, Nathan Dawson, the best mechanic in town, had passed away in a tragic highway accident. Left with only his younger sister Molly, then 9, Eli had become the man of the house long before most kids even learned to shave. He balanced school, late-night repair work, and part-time jobs just to keep their tiny 2-room apartment running. But Eli wasn't just a mechanic, he was brilliant. An intuitive mind with an uncanny ability to diagnose any engine problem with a single listen. He'd built engines from scrap, restored classics from the junkyard, and even rewired a Tesla battery module with tools barely functional. Mr. Miller, the garage owner, called him the Whisperer. Cars seemed to respond to him like loyal dogs to a trusted master. That day, Eli was replacing the valve cover gasket when the rumble of an exotic engine stopped him cold. The deep-throated growl echoed through the open garage doors and made every head inside turn. A Ferrari SF90 Stradale Cherry Red, polished to perfection, and clearly out of place in a town where most folks drove pickups and second-hand Toyotas. The car pulled up fast, dust trailing behind its tires, and skidded to a dramatic stop inches from the garage's cement edge. The door swung open, and a woman stepped out. She was tall, in her early 40s, wearing high heels sharp enough to slice leather. Her designer sunglasses covered half her face, and a silk scarf fluttered in the breeze. Every inch of her screamed wealth, but not the gentle kind. This was the wealth that demanded rooms be rearranged, people be silenced, and rules be rewritten. Her name was Vanessa Sterling, one of the richest entrepreneurs in the country. Owner of Sterling Global Motors, the very luxury car brand, partnered with Ferrari for limited edition hybrids. Her face had graced Forbes magazine, and her interviews were known for sharp quotes and even sharper dismissals. No one in Silver Grove would have expected someone like her here, and yet here she stood, scowling at the dusty garage as if it personally offended her. Eli stepped out from under the Pontiac, wiping his hands on a rag. "Ma'am, can I help you?" he asked, politely, though his eyes kept wandering to the gleaming beast of a car. Vanessa didn't bother with pleasantries. "My car is making a ticking noise from the rear. We're en route to Aspen, and I won't drive another mile in something." "That sounds like a dying lawnmower," Eli nodded. "I can take a look. We don't usually service Ferraris, but I'll see what I can do." Vanessa removed her sunglasses slowly, revealing piercing hazel eyes that scanned him like a hawk eyeing a rodent. "How old are you?" 17, Eli replied. She scoffed. "You're a child. Is there someone qualified here?" Mr. Miller approached from the back office, sipping coffee. "Eli's the best we got, ma'am. He's fixed things I can't even spell." Vanessa crossed her arms, incredulous. "This is a $600,000 machine, not a go-kart." Eli remained calm. "If you want, I can give it a quick diagnosis. No cost unless we fix it." Her eyes narrowed. "Fine, but if you scratch it, you'll pay for it with your future." She tossed him the key fob like a bone to a dog. Eli caught it effortlessly. His eyes lighting up like a child, handed an instrument from Mozart. As she walked off to take a phone call, Eli opened the rear panel of the hybrid Ferrari. The engine layout was complicated, an orchestra of wiring, sensors, and hybrid battery tech, but he wasn't intimidated. As he leaned over, he whispered to himself, "Come on, girl. Tell me what's wrong." He closed his eyes for a second, feeling, listening. Then he heard a faint ticking near the rear left manifold. It wasn't a failure. It was a misalignment in one of the battery cooling fans, causing vibration against the protective shroud. A minor fix, but one that could become serious if left alone. He grabbed a torque wrench, opened the compartment delicately, and made a few calculated adjustments. 15 minutes later, the ticking was gone. He ran a full diagnostic on his old tablet using open-source software he'd modified himself. The car's internal sensors confirmed it. All systems were nominal. He pulled the car forward, stepped out, and gestured toward Vanessa. She approached cautiously, still on the phone. "It's done," Eli said. "It was just a cooling fan bracket. I reinforced it and ran diagnostics. You're good." Vanessa eyed the car, then him. "And how long did that take?" 17 minutes. "Do you expect me to believe a teenager fixed a Ferrari's hybrid system in under 20 minutes? Eli shrugged. "You can double-check if you like." Vanessa, skeptical, stepped into the car and pressed the ignition. The engine purred like a tiger in a sunbeam, smooth, deep, perfect. Her eyes widened. She shifted gears, tapped the pedal, and the car responded like it had never been touched. She stepped out slowly. "How?" she began, then stopped herself. "What's your name?" "Eli." "Dawson. Who taught you?" "My dad and time." "And necessity." She studied him again, this time less like a pest and more like a puzzle. "You've never been to engineering school?" "No, ma'am. I can't afford it." "And yet you just solved something my technicians in LA couldn't diagnose." Eli offered a sheepish smile. "Guess it just needed someone who listens." Vanessa tilted her head. There was silence. Then suddenly she laughed, not mockingly but genuinely. It surprised even her. "I like you," she said. "You've got guts? Come work for me." Eli blinked. "Excuse me?" "I'm offering you a position, junior tech, special projects division. We'll train you, pay you, give you access to tools most dream of." Mr. Miller coughed in disbelief. "You're offering Eli a job on the spot?" Vanessa nodded. "Not just a job, a future." Eli hesitated. His mind raced. Molly, rent, school, leaving town. I can't. My sister, she's just a kid. I'm all she has." Vanessa looked at him, then at the garage, then back at him. "Bring her. We'll arrange housing, education. You've earned more than this town can offer you." Tears welled in Eli's eyes, though he didn't let them fall. Can I think about it?" Vanessa nodded. "But not too long. Talent like yours shouldn't rust in a small garage." She stepped into her Ferrari and peeled off, this time with no ticking sounds, just the roar of a machine reborn. The Ferrari's hum faded down the road, but the noise in Eli's chest wouldn't quiet down. He stood there for a full minute, wrench still in his hand, staring at the empty space where Vanessa's car had been. Around him, the old garage returned to its sleepy rhythm, air guns hissing, engines rumbling, classic rock playing faintly in the background. Mr. Miller walked over and clapped Eli on the back. "Son, I've seen you pull off some impressive things. But making her laugh? That might be your finest miracle yet." Eli chuckled nervously. "I think she was serious about that job." "She was dead serious. That woman doesn't say anything." "She doesn't mean..." Miller's tone turned solemn. "You thinking of going?" Eli looked at the grease under his nails. "I don't know. Molly's got school here, friends, and this place... it's home." "I get it," Miller said softly. "But sometimes home's not the garage. It's where you can grow. And you? You've outgrown this old place, Eli." That night, Eli sat in the cramped apartment kitchen, an open can of soup steaming between him and Molly. She was now 30, smart and full of fire. Despite all they'd been through, their parents' death, bouncing between relatives. Late nights, she never stopped dreaming. He told her everything. About the Ferrari, about Vanessa Sterling, about the job offer. Her spoon froze midair. "Wait, Vanessa Sterling? Like the CEO lady from YouTube?" "Yeah, and she offered you a job? Like a real job?" Eli nodded. She set her spoon down carefully. "So why are we still here?" Eli blinked. "What?" "Eli, you fixed her Ferrari. You could work with real engineers. Maybe even build your own car someday. You always said if you had the chance." "I did," Eli said. "But I thought you'd want to stay here." Molly gave him a look only little sisters can give, half gentle, half scolding. I want you to fly, and if I come with you, we both fly. The decision was made. 2 weeks later, they stood at the edge of Silver Grove, backpacks loaded and tearful goodbyes said to Mr. Miller and a few neighbors who'd become family. Vanessa's private car, a sleek black SUV with a uniformed driver, pulled up. Just like she said it would, she stepped out, this time in casual jeans and a fitted blazer, less steel and more warmth. You ready? She asked. Eli nodded. Molly beamed. Double quotes good, because life's about to go very fast. Chapter Los Angeles. They arrived in a different universe. Vanessa's research and development campus wasn't just a building, it was a city of innovation. Massive glass walls reflected the sun, and sleek prototypes zipped through test tracks in the distance. Engineers of all ages, men and women in lab coats and jumpsuits, buzzed with purpose. Vanessa led them inside and introduced Eli to the head of R&D, a short, kind-eyed man named Dr. Kieran Lowe, who had once worked at NASA before shifting to private automotive design. He's the one I told you about, Vanessa said. The Ferrari fix. Dr. Lowe raised an eyebrow. That was you? Eli nodded, suddenly feeling like a fish out of water. Dr. Lowe smiled. Well, we usually ask candidates to solve equations before they get a badge, but your work speaks louder. Eli was given a full scholarship to Sterling's apprentice program. Custom classes, access to labs, one-on-one mentorship. Molly was enrolled in a top-tier private school with music programs and robotics, labs she couldn't wait to explore. Every day Eli woke up before dawn, worked in the test garage until noon, took design classes in the afternoon, and then joined special projects with engineers twice his age. But he didn't just keep up, he led. His hands were steady and his mind wired differently. Where others saw problems, he saw patterns, and Vanessa, she watched from a distance. She didn't micromanage, but she noticed everything. One day she called him into her office. I have a question, Eli, she began. Sure. Why do you think I hired you? He blinked. Because I fixed your car? She smiled, partly, but not really. I've had cars fixed 100 times. It was because of how you did it. You didn't flinch. You listened? You weren't trying to impress anyone. You were just real. Eli said nothing. Her words felt too big to hold. She continued. We're developing a new concept, electric hypercar, all-American. Lightweight, fast, intuitive. It needs a heart, a soul. I want you on the core team. Me? But I'm just... Stop, she said firmly. You've already proven you're more than just anything. It was the opportunity of a lifetime. And Eli rose to meet it. For the next year, he worked side by side with engineers and designers to bring the project to life. He helped design battery modules that cooled more efficiently. He proposed changes to suspension systems that improved traction. He even prototyped a new onboard diagnostic interface that responded to human emotion like he used to do by ear. Back in Silver Grove, the car was dubbed the Sterling Falcon. The press laughed when they heard a team mechanic was helping build it. Until they saw the test run. The Falcon broke speed records. Its response time was faster than any electric car in its class. And when Vanessa revealed who had been behind most of the innovations, a 19-year-old former garage mechanic from a nowhere town, the world took notice. Eli Dawson became a viral phenomenon. Interviews, news articles, tech blogs, a Netflix documentary followed him for a month. Molly, now 15, started a STEM club at her school and was already applying to MIT. Vanessa made sure their apartment was upgraded. She treated them like family. But with fame came pressure. One night, after a long day, Eli sat alone in the test garage, staring at the Falcon under the soft hum of ceiling lights. Vanessa entered quietly. Still working? She asked. Just thinking. She sat beside him on a toolbox. You look like your mind's somewhere else. I'm scared, he admitted. Of what? That I'm just lucky, that this will fade. That I'm not enough? She reached over and placed a hand on his shoulder. Eli, luck doesn't rebuild a Ferrari in 17 minutes. Luck doesn't raise a little sister alone? You're not here by accident. He looked at her. Why are you so kind to me? Vanessa paused, her voice softened. Because someone once gave me a chance, and because I lost a brother once. He had your eyes, your fire. I couldn't save him. But maybe I can honor him by believing in someone like you. Tears welled in Eli's eyes. Thank you, he whispered. She nodded. Now, go get some rest. The world's going to need you. At your best tomorrow. The world didn't just take notice after the Pikes Peak victory, it changed. Within hours, Eli Dawson's name was trending across every major platform. Headlines read, Teen Mechanic beats World Champion in $4 million showdown. Self-taught prodigy defeats Vortec in epic electric race. America's Falcon soars, thanks to a 19-year-old genius, but for Eli, it wasn't about the cameras or interviews. After the race, he walked straight to the Falcon, gently placed a hand on its hood and whispered, "Thank you." Then he turned to Molly, who leapt into his arms with joyful tears, and they laughed like kids again because deep down they still were. Vanessa approached them both with pride written across her normally guarded face. She opened her arms and for the first time in public embraced both Eli and Molly like they were her own. She didn't say a word. She didn't need to. Her eyes said everything. Later that night, Sterling Motors hosted a private celebration. At their LA campus, journalists and sponsors filled the rooftop. Champagne flowed, and a projection of the Falcon glowed over the skyline, but Eli slipped away. He found himself alone in the original R&D garage where he'd first touched tools. Bigger than his hands, where his dreams had gone from greasy ideas to global impact. He sat on the same stool where he'd first heard Vanessa say, "I like you." That's when she entered. "Had a feeling you'd be here," Vanessa said. Eli smiled. "It's quiet." "Feels more real than all that." She nodded. "You've done something extraordinary, Eli, not just today, every day. You turned pain into purpose, grief into greatness." Eli looked at her, a question lingering. "Why me?" Vanessa leaned against the workbench. "Because you reminded me of what? I lost in what I still had the power to believe in. You were broken when I met you, but still kind, still willing to help. You had every reason to give up. But you fixed something, not just a car, you fixed me." Silence stretched between them, honest, warm, and full of healing. "I've been thinking," Vanessa continued. "We're expanding Sterling Motors globally. I want you to lead the design division. Head of engineering. It comes with stock, full freedom, and your own lab." Eli's jaw dropped. That's insane." "It's right," she said. "Because you've earned more than just a job. You've earned legacy." Tears welled in his eyes. "I'm just a mechanic." "No," she said, stepping closer. "You're the mechanic." 1 year later, the Falcon went into mass production, modified for commercial performance. It sold out globally in just 6 weeks. Sterling's market value soared, eclipsing rivals. And Eli Dawson's face appeared beside Vanessa's in business journals and award ceremonies, but fame never changed him. He returned to Silver Grove to restore Miller's Auto Haven, turning it into a youth engineering center. Kids from struggling families now came to learn for free. Molly ran a tech club there, often with a wrench in one hand and a VR headset in the other. The garage walls bore a mural now, Eli as a boy beside the first Ferrari he ever fixed, with the words, "Built not, born ED." Vanessa visited often quietly. She never spoke much about her past, but the smile she wore when walking into that garage said she had found peace. On the anniversary of the Pikes Peak win, Vanessa, Eli, and Molly stood outside the original Sterling garage, unveiling the next dream, Project Sparrow, an electric aviation initiative. Eli was 21 now, confident, focused, and still humble. As he addressed the press, he didn't speak of numbers or investors. He spoke of his father, of fixing bicycles and old radios. He spoke of grief, of staying up nights to keep a little sister warm. He spoke of strangers who gave him chances, of believing in what others call impossible, and he ended with this, "Greater than machines are just like people. Sometimes they rattle, misfire, or stall. But if someone listens, really listens, they can come alive again. I'm just glad someone listened to me when I needed it most." The crowd stood in silence. Then thunderous applause followed. As the sun dipped behind the hills of Los Angeles, Eli stepped off stage, took Molly's hand, and walked into the lab. He wasn't just fixing engines anymore, he was fixing futures.